So now it's time to carry on with my Island at the End of Everything group. Now, I've loved this. There is just something magical about the way Kieran Millward Hargrave writes. I mean, I maintain that Girl of Ink and Stars is the single best children's book I've ever read, possibly book, striped children's. I still flash daily into that story. I've never seen a film of it, it's not a movie, but I'm in that story. I'm in the cave with the girls. I'm back at the house, Issa's house. I can see, her name's gone from me, but the girl out in the orchard, it will come back to me. Kata in the orchard. There's just something magical with the way Kieran Millward Hargrave writes to bring you into the story. So I hope with that, if you are listening, you don't mind me using your story to work with my group so they can still enjoy our reading group while we're in our own homes. So let's get started. We know where we're up to. She's just about to leave the island forcibly. Let's get cracking. The going. When I wake, there is a small bundle beside me, and with a pang, I realise Nanay has packed for me. I sit on my bed for a long time looking at the room I have spent every night in since I was born. Notches in the door frame mark my height, from when I was just able to stand to last year's birthday. I wonder how tall I will be when Nanay next measures me. Probably bigger than her. She's not very high. Nanay sticks her head into the room. "There you are," she says in a too bright voice that means she's putting on a brave face. We've all had parents do that when they're trying to be like, "Yeah, we're all right. I made breakfast." We eat fruit in our scrubby garden, but it is hard to swallow. I want this part to be over, though I don't want to leave. I don't think the being gone will be as bad as the going. That's really good. Just a phrase in this book. The being gone. I don't think the being gone will be as bad as the going. So once she's gone, it'll be fine, but leaving will be horrible. Sister Marguerite arrives just as we are finishing our mango halves. Nanay goes rigid and says, "Wipe your face, Amy." I bite my lips so hard, I taste the tang of blood. There must be a way of staying. I wish I thought harder about it, knew what to do. Nanay hands me my bundle. I feel hard, edges inside, and she says, "Your present is in there, like I promised. Habilin, for safekeeping, until we see each other again." The parting words are coming, and she is drawing out the sentences to delay it. The way she does when she goes to see friends in the hospital who will not be going home. Sister Marguerite leads us outside. I keep my back straight and my eyes facing forwards. There is an open car outside with a driver, another stranger, and 5 other children in it, seated along the sides. They all have bundles with them too. Datu is there, and 2 girls from school, but most of our class are not. Dia's baby is not there either. "A cart," says Nanay. "Are we not walking them to the harbour?" "They are to be taken to the new port, the..." Sister Marguerite wrinkles her nose. "Sano port. It's north from here, through the forest." "I see." Nanay chokes on the words. Then she clears her throat and bends to hold me. "Be good. Be polite. Make yourself useful." "I will, Nanay." She bends and hugs me tightly. "Make me proud. Make friends. I'll write to you." She nods at Sister Marguerite, who looks as sad as I feel. "See you in 1,945 days, I say." 1,944 days, she corrects. Or thereabouts. I climb up and Sister Marguerite sits beside the driver. The mules start walking. "Wait!" Bondok is thundering down the road, Capuno hurrying behind. I move to the back of the car and each of the brothers reaches up in turn to hug me. Bondok whispers in my ear, "I will take care of her, Amy. Segregation or no, I'll visit her as much as possible, and I will take care of you as best as I can. I will write to check on you and visit when you are settled." He lets go and jumps from the cart. As the mules start again, Nanay kisses both hands and blows the kisses to me. I catch them as falling stars and pocket them. Bondok puts his arm over Nanay's shoulder, and I know he will keep his promise. even if he can only rarely come from the Sano area. This should make it better. A little. It should. That suggests it's not, doesn't it? It should make it better, but it's just not. This is hard. A child has been separated from her mother. There's some gravity here. They wave until the cart turns off the street. My arms and legs feel heavy. Blood is roaring in my ears. My fingers tingle and I clench them into the bundle. I can feel from the size and weight that it's Nanay's metal cooking basin. I know it is the most precious thing she had, and all because I gave her a dried up berry. The littlest boy, Kidlat, is sniffling. He can barely be older than 5, and no one goes to comfort him. So I shuffle carefully towards him and put my arms around him until he stops crying. His small warmth anchors me. We collect 3 more children, Tekla and 2 Igmes, 1 tall, 1 short. All girls I know from school, but who don't talk to me. At every door there is a mother or father or both, crying and kissing them goodbye. It is hard to watch, so I keep my eyes closed until the cart starts moving again. Our final stop is at Dr. Thomas's house. The doctor is standing outside looking tired, surrounded by boxy suitcases. Sister Marguerite climbs down to greet him, and for a moment I think the doctor is coming instead of Mr. Zamora. But then the butterfly collector looms out of the house, wearing a white straw hat and holding a glass case a bit smaller than a suitcase. The sun glints off it, throwing sharp points of light that make stars shoot across my eyes. But as Mr. Zamora carefully slides it onto the front seat of the cart next to the driver, we all crane to look. I'm already sure I know what it is. Inside are rows and rows of wooden sticks, set horizontally through holes in the glass, like the rungs of a ladder. Dangling from each of these sticks are what look like dried leaves, 10 or more on each. They sway as Mr. Zamora sets it down, as though they may drop. We all know what they are. They're not leaves. We know what they are. Back! Barks Mr. Zamora, and Kidlet starts to whimper again. Don't touch it! What is it? Asked Lily, one of the older girls. They are chrysalises, says Mr. Zamora. Chrysa what? Caterpillar cases, says Sister Marguerite, where they go to change into butterflies. Indeed, and they are very delicate. If you touch them... Mr. Zamora drags his gaze over each of us. I look down. You will be punished. It is not ideal having to transport them in this rustic manner. Think about this man, how he's bothered about moving butterfly chrysalises in a cart, but not what he's just done to those children. We really get an essence of this man's character, and it's not nice. You could use the harbour here, says the driver. Be kinder to allow the parents to wave their children off. Most of them have never been in a boat before. That is a leproso port now, snaps Mr. Zamora. The northeasterly harbour will be where Sano transportation is organised. Perhaps you would like more time, says Sister Marguerite, half sharply, half hopefully. Wait until the roads are laid, and a less rustic form of transport can be brought from the places outside. And spend another day in Culion leper colony? He smiles as she flinches. I think I made my opinions on that quite clear, sister. He wheels round to Dr. Thomas. When you're ready, doctor. Dr. Thomas jumps and begins loading the rest of the boxes and suitcases into the cart. There are 5 brown boxes in all, 2 up front with Mr. Zamora and 3 at the back, each with holes pricked in the top to let in air. I bring my head down to listen, but there is no sound. Mr. Zamora oversees the loading as if the doctor is a servant. When the luggage is loaded and the floor of cart is so tightly packed we can barely move our feet, Mr. Zamora pulls a spotless white handkerchief from his pocket and covers the handrail he uses to pull himself onto the front seat. He lets the handkerchief drop into the dust and slowly lifts the glass case onto his lap. setting the chrysalises swinging. Sister Marguerite goes to come up next to him, but Mr. Zamora holds his hand right up in her face. No need, sister. I'll take them from here. Sister Marguerite draws herself up to her fullest height. I have cared for these children for years. I'm not about to let them go with someone they barely know. Good on you, Sister Marguerite. I've really warmed to Sister Marguerite. She's quietly powerful. You have no choice, sister, says Mr. Zamora in a not-sorry voice. Your new charges will be arriving soon. You'll have a whole school of leper children to worry about. And besides, I know what I am doing. Mr. Zamora twists around in his seat. The government has put me in charge of seeing to it that all you bright young people get a good start in your new lives. I'll be running the orphanage. I did not see that come in. Oh, as if things can't get any worse for Amy. His lips peel back from his teeth in an attempt at a comforting smile. Kidlat's mouth quivers and he nuzzles closer to me. Sister Marguerite hesitates and steps back. She looks as if she has lost the tug of war, her shoulders drooping. She climbs into the back of the car and hugs each of us. You should be there by sunset, she sniffs. I've been to Coron. It's a friendly place. I am sure you'll be happy there. I search her face, but she seems to be telling the truth. Maybe we will be happy there, even without our families. Nanay once told me a story about a town run by children. They stayed young forever and it was a fun place. I hold on to this shining thought as Mr. Zamora says, Let's get on with it then. I watch Sister Marguerite watching us go. She has one hand on Dr. Thomas's shoulder and they are both perfectly still. As we round a corner, she is as small as my forearm, a doll dressed in black. The horses pull us out of Culion, past all the houses, the hospital and church, out underneath a new sign set high above the road between two poles. Culion leper colony. Restricted area. Mr. Zamora doffs his hat at it, lets out a long breath and inhales an even longer one. Free children! Fresh air from here on. Whoa. So, I'm going to stop this one because it's getting long, but we'll discuss at the beginning of the next chapter.